Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that brutal OST. Hope you enjoyed that break because we have returned with El Gran Finale. We returned with the grand finals of ESL Open Cup Asia number 215. It all ends here. It all ends now in this Zerg versus Terran matchup on Equilibrium of all maps. Very interesting that this was not vetoed, by the way. Very curious as to what the vetoes were. Regardless, again, Equilibrium is going to be game one, and we are spawning in. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Equilibrium, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player going for a 15-15, representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. You can place your bets on who you believe will be this week's ESL Open Cup champion for the region of Asia. Will it be Dark or will it be ByuN? Up to you. Up to you to decide. Predictions open. There we go. Ooh, as Dark is going to be having some fun. Okay, so very bold here. So Dark, he's going for a 15-15. This is going to be a 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool. But he's going for a 15-15 with the gold base of all things. Very risky maneuver here from Dark. Back at home, ByuN going for a Rax first, going for a Rax expand, not a CC first. So Dark will have an economic advantage here. Now, when it comes to the 15-15, this is basically a gasless opener. It is a gasless build. There's a gasless build here from Dark, at least initially. This typically would lead into roach play, but because they're rushing into this hatchery, I'm still feeling roaches. I'm still feeling roaches overall from Dark. Drones are on the way. They are being main-outed over towards that gold, and ByuN has no idea what's going on. ByuN, more often than not, does skip SCV scouts, so there is no worker scout from ByuN. Reaper is on the way, but can he punish this gold? He needs to. There's no question about it. He does need to punish the gold. We'll see if he can. Dark now getting his queens on the way. Plenty of droning in production as well. And again, because how late the gases are, this should be roaches. And there it is. Roach Warren is thrown down from Dark. We're skipping Ling speed, and we will try to defend both these locations with roaches instead. And this should be leading into eventually a roach push. Meanwhile, ByuN is moving out. ByuN is moving out here with his Reaper. Checks the natural, does confirm nothing there. He's going to check the gold, does confirm the gold base at least. Ooh, and he will not get a drone. Good control out of Dark. Good control out of ByuN. As they both save their own respective units here. ByuN, I'm sure, a little bit upset about the gold that it was taken. Smoge, Papi, Smoge. Hold on, do we have Google Translate? We don't have we don't have a Korean caster. No. Smoge. Behind this, you see ByuN going for a third CC before Starport, so he's going for an economic follow-up instead. Bold move here by ByuN, as Dark is taking advantage of that gas geyser. Meanwhile, hold on, let's see. Can I... Are you eating the gold? Okay, at the very start of the game, ByuN was asking, are you taking the gold base? And Dark was like, no, what are you talking about? I have self-control. And they took it. So ByuN, he asked him at the start of the game if he was taking the gold. And he is. Here comes the Roach Ravager that we spoke about. Meanwhile, ByuN doesn't have enough to defend. We have a bunker on the low ground. We have Cyclones in production as we speak. We should be able to hold on. We have a Marauder in the bunker as well. Very good damage on that first Ravager. Sorry, on the first Roach. One Roach does go down. Hellions from behind. Vile's going to be zoning back that army. Good shuffling there from Dark. Preserving those Ravagers, but I spoke too soon because one Ravager goes down. A second Ravager as well. Good target firing out of Dark. Does get a Cyclone. But he flees out every other unit down to 2 Ravagers. And behind this, we're droning. We're just droning as hard as we can. Dark just trying to force a reaction, just trying to gain value here, trade efficiently, but wasn't fully able to. ByuN holds. ByuN, he holds on. Remember, he took a 3rd TC behind this. He could even rush into his own gold. Most likely, though, going to be taking the triangular 3rd, and we're getting into the mid game. We're getting into the mid game with Dark having quite an economic lead. So I still want to give the edge to Dark. He was a little bit wasteful with his trade. You can see here he lost 4 Ravagers and 1 Roach, and he didn't really kill too much with it. So that is the first win for ByuN, but he needed that to go his way. Meanwhile, behind this, Ling Speed is in production, so this is going to lead into Roach, Ravager, Ling Bane. But for the time being, we are stuck with Roach, Ravager. Creep is spreading. So now the game is going to be stabilizing. ByuN taking his 3rd base, as we mentioned, not going for the gold. Now going into his, oh my god, into a very delayed starport, actually. Very interesting out of ByuN. Sorry, I didn't even notice. But a very delayed starport, focusing on his Rax production. Overseer is now going to be going down. So very delayed Medvacs here, very delayed drop play by ByuN. Hyperfixated on building up his bio army instead. And he's going to have quite an army. We'll see how this does fare for Dark. Bearing in mind that he's only going to have Roaches to defend. Not the most efficient army against a bio-heavy composition. Now, Dark did scout. I'm curious if Dark is going to be throwing down an infestation pit for infestors. For fungal growth, that will help. But now, ByuN is pushing. Here we go, going for his double drop across the map. Meanwhile, Dark, he's already droned up to 3 base saturation, essentially, with that gold. Up to 56 workers. Which means Dark is now focusing on building up his Roach Ravager. Double drop head towards the main. But Dark is in position. He does see it coming ahead of time. He does force it back, and now he's going for his own push. Hits the 3rd base. ByuN out of position. He's not where he needs to be. Has a tank behind this at the natural. Has a handful of Marines. Oh, the drop does come in from behind. We get a surround. A good surround here from ByuN. He collapses on the army. Likewise, who surrounds who? As the boys are being pulled, SCVs are going down. And Dark, he may just have too much. As the tank is biled. Yeah, we have broken the 3rd base. SCV's doing what they can, but so much economic damage is being done. GG gets called, and Dark will take game number 1. GG. Again, a very wild game out of Dark to rush into that goal base. Initially, ByuN was doing okay. It was unfortunate that ByuN had gone for the double drop because we saw that it did no damage across the map. It wasn't at home to defend. It meant that that tank was more exposed than it otherwise would have been, and just like that, ByuN takes a loss here in game 1, and Dark takes a lead in the series. Does take a lead. And we do have our vetoes. Okay, so game 1 is going to be Equilibrium. Game 2 is Oceanborn, followed by Alcyone, Side Delta, and Solaris. Okay. Beautiful. Sorry, I'm just writing that down. Just so we remember. Just so we remember. Speaking of game 2, Oceanborn. Let's go. Let us go. Again, Oceanborn, a much shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression can be quite favored here And I'm sure that's not the last that we've seen of Dark's roaches. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Terran player. Down in the series, we're going to fight back, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, going for a 15-15 once again, representing Talon Esports, it is Dark. Now, this time Dark isn't tempted to take a gold. There is no gold base to tempt Dark, so it's going to be just a 15 hatchery here on the low ground. Now, to wind it back, as a reminder, just like that game number 1, 15-15s lead into delayed gases. Your gas is going to be late with this build because we're going for a faster spawning pool, and this does typically lead into roach openers. Roaches should be on the way for Dark. Otherwise, we can get into Lings, but Ling speed is later than normal, and Dark will have less of a map presence that he usually has. As there's that spawning pool on the way. So again, just a really safe opener from Dark that does typically lead into roach play. We'll see if it will here. Doesn't always lead into roaches, but typically does. Meanwhile, ByuN back at home going for a Rax expand. Once again, no SCV scout. I don't fully like this. We didn't see an SCV scout in game 1. We're not seeing an SCV scout here in game 2. We spoke about this against Creator, but ByuN very rarely goes for SCV scouts, period. He often skips them in every single matchup just to be that much greedier, just to be that much more efficient. It's a risky thing to go for, especially against Dark. Dark, who is one to go for like 12 pool openers, to go for pool first. Like, Dark does like to be aggressive here in this matchup, and it just feels so risky to not go for these early scouts just to be safe. Now, obviously, we can see that ByuN isn't being punished by any means. Like, a 15-15 is a safe opener, not an aggressive opener. So, ByuN isn't being punished for it, but it still feels so risky to do against Dark. Meanwhile, Reaper moves out. Dark, he's going gasless. He's going for an insanely late gas geyser. Okay, so Dark, basically what just happened here is that he skipped his Lings, and it's going to be losing a drone, though. Big pick off there by ByuN. But Dark, he skipped his Lings. He skipped out on his gases. So he got his gases even later, and he rushed into a very fast third. Insanely fast third base here from Dark, considering his build of choice. And insanely late gases from Dark as well. Which means this is roach play. 100%. 100% for gases to be this late. So I've only ever seen Dark go for this opener on Golden Aura. For those that are curious, Golden Aura is very similar to not Alkyone. Oh my god, what was the map called? Last season. The small map. You know what I'm talking about. But it's very similar to a previous map in the map pool last season, where Dark can defend with Pure Queen. He's defending with Pure Queen. No Lings, no Ling speed, no nothing, no gases. Just pure Lings to defend, pure Queens to defend. It's something that you can get away with, and ByuN now responds as he does lose his Reaper. Ay. Show me the Google Translate. I'm trying to be quick. He said it's over, you win. Hold on, let me just double check. Okay. So ByuN, he said, ugh. Gasless, you win. Hold on. So at least he confirms, obviously, the opener. Wait, what does Dark say in response? Dark says... I'm having a hard time translating. Dark's like, talk to me. I know if anyone is a native Korean speaker, give us some translations in the chat. I understood the beginning. This response I don't understand from Dark. I think Dark said, "You're not going for a Hellion dive." I think he said that, something like that. I think he was like trying to bait ByuN in. Regardless, behind this, we're getting to our third TC. Dark just now getting into his gases, now getting into roach play. Just a really greedy opener out of Dark. We'll see if ByuN can get into this. This is getting into his 5-rack setup on 3 bases. Starport on the way. Interesting, no add-on swap here for the Starport. We're going for delayed medevacs once again, going for a tech lab. Very interesting. So ByuN has no medevacs to work with. We do see Dark applying some pressure with these roaches. It is going to be just an 8 roach pressure here, but he does bust into the natural base, and ByuN doesn't really have much to work with. SCVs are going to be going down. Is this going to be worth it though for Dark? It gets 5 SCVs. Gets 5, gets 6 workers here towards the end. Good kiting out of Dark. Also denies so much mining time at the natural base as well. And Darky's perfectly fine back at home. Remember, ByuN, he delayed he delayed medevac production for this add-on swap in favor of making that tech lab, and as a result, ByuN, his economy is in shambles, not where it needs to be. Darky gets away with a fourth hatchery. It's in production. 1-1. Ling's speed for Lings to reinforce eventually. It's a really good start. Also, I'm bothered. What was that map called? I'm gonna check. The last map pool. 185. It was Near Humanity, that's it. Near Humanity is the other map that Dark you would go gasless on. Which was very similar to Golden Ore, in the sense that the bases were so close together you could defend with only queens and get away with a fast third. Which is what Dark just did here on Oceanborn. ByuN dropping into the natural. Now finally getting to drop play very late here at the 7-minute mark. Do you get 1? Do you get 2 queens? 2 queens go down. Big pig also, but we lose a medevac. Not like this. Medevac goes down. I mean, we at least got those queens, sure, but overall, I'm sure Dark is happy with that trade, bearing in mind that he has very limited maneuverability with this roach-based army. Job coming back into the natural. The queen wants a second kill. He wants it, Mappy. He wants it. Overseer just confirming saturation, confirming tank production. Again, because of the Roach Ravager, tanks are being forced out by ByuN. Speaking of, Dark is getting ready for his own push. He's cutting workers at 3 bases. He's at 68 workers, 3 base saturation. And we're just doubling down here on Roach Ravager. Are we coming in too soon, though? Oh, the Lings, they get annihilated. We're trying to get on top of those tanks. 1 tank goes down. We're going to get a second. And can we get the third? The tank barely will fall. And it looks like Darky has enough. He breaks through. ByuN has nothing left here. He has a handful of Marines. He's down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. GG gets called. And Dark takes a 2-0 lead in this series. 1 more. Uno más is all he needs. GG, well played. Again, a very greedy build out of Dark. Coming out ahead in the early game. Was able to, again, punish ByuN as well. Was able to shut down the medevacs. Was able to get a lot of economic damage done with his roaches. Remember, he killed 6 SCVs with his first roach push. And he forced a lot of lost mine time as well. And ByuN was just behind. He was just falling behind. And Dark was able to just snowball here into that 3-base all-in. And with that, Dark needs one more game here to close it out. What are they saying? Hold on, they're bantering right now. Bantering back and forth. What? I respect it. So Dark was asking, what was that build? And I agree. We were talking about the add-on soul. We were talking about the delayed medevac production. He was asking, what was that build? And ByuN said, it's a win build. It didn't work though. Ay. Regardless, we're getting into game 3. Could be our final game of the series. Let's go. Gonna be on Alkione. Hopefully we can fight back. Hopefully we can sink our teeth into a longer series, but it's not on us. It's not on even our Zerg player. It's on our Terran. It's on this player here in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkione. We have our blue Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. Down in the series, he needs to fight back here and now. The pressure is on. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player representing Talent Esports, his new team. One game away from becoming this week's champion. It is Dark. I'm whipping out the translate. Hold on. Show me more. So ByuN said this time it's going to be a different outcome. Then Dark's like, oh, I made mistakes. And ByuN laughed. All right, here we go. Fighting words out of ByuN. This time, it's not going to be the same. We're going for a 2-Rax opener. 2-Rax Reaper out of ByuN. We could double down with a 3rd Rax. We could, but for now, 2-Rax Reaper here. This is designed to contain Dark. This is designed to get an economic lead. Meanwhile, looking at the openers here, Dark going for a hatch pool opener. Very interesting. Into a 3rd. Very greedy build here out of Dark. Wait, what? Okay. Wait, oh, he's scared. He's looking for proxies. I thought he was taking a 3rd base, but he's looking for proxies. He's expecting cheese. It is not, as the Overlord is getting across the map, and we are indeed getting up to 3 Raxes. It's going to be 3-Rax Reaper here out of ByuN, and late gas from Dark. This is a good start for ByuN. A very good start. Do I want to have a look at the opener? Sorry, have a look at what they were saying. ByuN said, let's finish this up quickly. Wrap it up, Papi, wrap it up. I want to get some food. Dark, calm down. And ByuN is laughing. ByuN is laughing, and here we go again. 3-Rax Reaper. So the reason why I say this is a good start for ByuN is because late gas. Late gas means late ling speed. Without ling speed, we cannot gain map control. We cannot shut down these Reapers ahead of time. It means that ByuN is going to have a lot of freedom. He's going to have a lot of freedom here to gain control of the map, to punish the bases of Dark, and to deny this 3rd. We'll see if we can. Again, really fast 3rd base out of Dark. 2nd Reaper has arrived. And more Reapers are on the way. Dark, still not fully aware. I mean, he sees a lack of natural base, so he knows. He now knows what's going on. Dark is aware of the 3CC. Sorry, the 3 Rax. And he's amassing Queens. He's amassing Queens as we speak. ByuN now going for the expansion. Dark does see it. He's aware. It's going to be all about the Queens to defend. We do snipe the tumor. Very nicely done there by ByuN. And the question becomes, can ByuN kill this base? Can he kill this? Actually, he wants the tumor. Oh, he gets it. Big pick off there. Without the tumor, we cannot actually get on top of this 3rd. Dark, he cannot defend. He needs that tumor. There we go. Another one on the way. We need to spread that creep. That hatchery getting to half HP. Hatchery getting very low. Another Queen has arrived. Dark, he is slowly getting on top of this army. Slowlings coming in. The Queens. Oh, one gets picked off. A big loss there for Dark. Does focus down some of those Reapers. We see ByuN rotating around. Good control out of Dark. Does pull back. And he does hold. Dark is holding again. It's a very scary hold because he has no way to collapse on those Reapers. There's still 0 gas. But he saves the 3rd. That's what's important. Dark does save the 3rd base. Ooh, Lings are in position. Behind this, 3rd CC is on the way. ByuN trying to be very greedy behind this, trying to get into a longer game. Ooh, as he almost gets another Queen. The transfuse are so clutch. We barely keep it alive. Queen's still getting very low. We do snipe another Queen. We get 1, we get 2. And this is getting out of hand. 3 Queens have fallen in total. ByuN now stopping Reaper production, getting into his tech lab, into his reactors, getting into stim, getting into his bio transition, into his marine transition. And again, without link speed, these Reapers, they can just have their way with this. There's just so much freedom for ByuN. So much maneuverability. Takes down a 4th Queen. It looks like finally he's going to be cleaned up, but he gets some drone kills as well. The 3 workers go down. This is too much. This is too much. A 5th queen falls. The Lings, they're getting kited to death. Finally, ByuN, he's down to 2 Reapers. He's going to get another drone. And another. Behind this, Dark, he's double expanding. He has to. To be honest, this makes a lot of sense. Dark, he's taking his 4th and his 5th faith at the same time. This gold is going to be so important here. So Dark is not out of this. He's taking a lot of damage. He's taken a lot of losses. And this stim timing from ByuN is going to be brutal. This eventual like Marine push is going to be insane. As Dark still doesn't have any tech. No Ling speed, no roaches, no nothing. Only queens and slow Lings. So if Dark can survive, if he can survive the first push, then he's going to be okay. But then he can maybe stabilize. Maybe that's a better way to put it. He has the potential to settle into an even game. But for now, he's behind, and ByuN is pushing. You can see Dark heavily just droning, establishing that 4th. Marines have arrived. Stim is done. We do catch some of these overlords. We supply block Dark. Aye. Big supply block there for Dark. Ling speed just started. But we have a mass amount of queens. Oh my god, how many? 12? 12 queens for Dark. We can defend against these Marines without combat shields. Without 1-1, we can hold, but 1-1 is about to kick in. These Marines are about to pop off. You see ByuN checking the gold. We'll confirm the creep. Yeah, it does confirm the gold base. Good target firing out of those queens. There go the Marines. They do push on forward. We do focus down the medevac. Medevac goes down. Good target firing out of ByuN. Does focus down those banelings. So good control out of ByuN overall, but does lose his medevac. More medevacs on the way. More Marines are amassing 4th TC here. ByuN, he's not doubling down. He's not going for an 8 racks. He's going for a 4th base instead. We're going for a longer game. Dark, he's stabilizing. He's stabilizing, Poppy. We're now getting into bailing speed, into 1-1. Like, Dark, he's still behind in upgrades. He's still behind in tech. But if he survives a little bit longer, he can stabilize. I love the fast infestation bit as well from Dark. Fast hive. We're rushing into hive tech. Before he even has 1-1, gold base is getting up and running. Double drop on the right. Bailing speed still not done, and ByuN is abusing that. Here we go, the wing bane. Bathing speed kicks in! Bathing speed, it kicks in just in time. We collapse here on the Marines. We collapse on the tanks as well. Dark. Oh, cutting that tank out in half. He does hold. He does hold onto the gold. Hive is on the way for Adrenal, for Vipers. For more importantly, Ultras. This does look like Ling Bane into Ultra from Dark. No Hydrogen, no Roach Warren. Ling's going for a run by. They do force a reaction out of ByuN. ByuN forced to respond here. Does pull back home. Meanwhile, Dark, he's up to 82 workers. Nidus Worm is on the way as well to, again, keep the pressure on. And we are going to be settling into this. Despite the great start from ByuN. Doesn't even matter. Not anymore. Getting into Widow Mines, into Drilling Claws. So ByuN here from ByuN is pushing forward, clearing up a lot of this creep. Meanwhile, there's that Nidus Worm, and ByuN, does he see? He doesn't. He has no vision. He has no vision of the Nidus. Tank slowly pushing forward here. We do get on top of the gold. As ByuN denies the gold base, there's that Ultra Cavern that we spoke about. Again, Ling Bane into Ultra. The Nidus Swarm does finish up. And Lings, they flood into the main. But there are reinforcements. There's plenty to defend in the main base. Dark, he's not getting any damage here, not any value. Nidus Swarms are going down at the same time he collapses on the Marines. Decent Baneling connection. But again, this Nidus was lackluster. Does slow down the reinforcements. But ByuN looks like he will kill this hatchery, or he's close. The mine! Oh, big connection. Marines, they are getting in position. Being rolling in. Banelings, they head in between these CCs. They force cancels. But a very efficient trade there from ByuN. Again, it was a brutal choke point. ByuN, he does hold. And he will shut down the gold. As I say that though, Dark barely does survive. Barely takes down the tank, forces back the drop. The base is still very low and we're not able to mine from it. ByuN still in the driver's seat with the upgraded advantage. 3-3, halfway done for ByuN. Nidus not going to finish up. Hatchery goes down. Dark, he's still trying to recover here. He's still down in upgrades. Up in economy. Expanding on the right-hand side. Another Nidus on the way. Keeping ByuN busy. And we collapse here on the army. Mine shot goes off. Decent mine connection, but we do clean up those drops. As ByuN does make his way into the main. And it feels like ByuN may just have too much. Darky's trying to hold on. Desperately trying to. But ByuN, he does hold fast here. He does clean up all those things. Breaks through. Gets on top of one of those Vipers as well. And we can see Dark plummet in supply. We have a tri-pronged attack here. And Dark, he keeps up with two of them. But not with the third. As the Marines, they're breaking through the main base. Drones are going down. Ooh, Hydra's on the way. My apologies. I thought it was just going to be straight up Ling Bane into Ultra, but we've avoided the Ultra tech. We have avoided it. And ByuN, he just has too much. Again, the Nidus Swarms just weren't worth it. Some rough trades earlier. The dead gold was brutal. If we were able to hold on to that gold base, it's a different story. If we were able to take advantage of the gold, then maybe we can survive. But ByuN, he's not going down without a fight. He's looking to fight back in this series. It means they push on forward. 17 drones go down. And we kill another hatchery. And Dark just cannot keep up. The Hydras are trading as best they can. They do force back the Marauders. But again, GG gets called. It's just too much, and ByuN will take game number 3, putting a point on the board and keeping his hopes, his dreams alive in these finals. GG. Whew. Again, the opener was brutal for Dark, where he did open up Gasless again against what happens to be a 3 Rax Reaper opener. ByuN got so much damage done there, and even though ByuN's first double drop didn't do too much damage, his eventual push did. His eventual push towards that goal base was able to break through. Unfortunately, Dark was trying to go for all these run-bys and counterattacks. He tried to go for Nidus Worms, tried to go for Ling counterattacks towards the left-hand side. Just wasn't able to trade well, wasn't able to get damage done. Did throw away too much, and ByuN snowballed out of control. And with that, we have a series. We have a series. That's what matters most here. Oh, what are they saying to each other? ByuN just said it'll be easy this time. And Dark is laughing. Easy, Pappy, easy. Let's go. I mean, I would love an ace match. I would love for this to go all the way to game 5. That's what I want, at least. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of side Delta, we have our South Korean blue Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. Fighting back, putting a point on the board. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player. The red Zerg representing Talent Esports, still one game away from winning this entire event. Can he close it out here and now? It is Dark. Here we go. ByuN going for his Rax on low ground. This looks like a Rax factory opener. We've seen this a lot from ByuN on this map. We've actually, the last time we saw this from ByuN was ByuN versus DRG over the weekend in KSL. Oh, second Rax. Thankfully, we're going for a second Rax. But we saw the Rax into factory from ByuN. Did lead into a Hellbat push, into a Hellbat all-in against DRG. But here we see once again a 2-Rax Reaper opener from ByuN, thankfully. I'll be honest, I'm not really fond of the Rax factory on side Delta. Not too fond of it, but here we go. It is going to be 2-Rax Reaper. From here, we can just expand, or we can commit to a 3rd Rax once again. But we would have seen that 3rd Rax by now. So 2-Rax Reaper from our blue Terran player. Meanwhile, Dark going for a standard hatch gas pool. For the first time this series, by the way, we've been seeing a lot of 15-15s. We've been seeing a lot of gasless openers as well. For the first time this series, hatch gas pool, standard opener, which means Dark does have access to link speed. Let's go. For the first time in this best of 5. Which means he should be fine. He should be okay. Now, this opener from ByuN is designed to delay the 3rd and contain Dark for as long as possible. Contain the Zerg player. That's the name of the game. Maybe pick off a couple of drones. Maybe get a queen. But just delay the 3rd. Link speed is on the way. Dark has got 6 lings in production as well. Reaper has arrived. We get eyes on the lings, which means ByuN is fully aware of what's going on. Is aware of the opener. As he does dance with the army of the lings, they almost get us around. Oh my god. Good movement there out of Dark. ByuN almost does get punished. Does check for the 3rd. Confirms that nothing is there. At the triangular 3rd, instead Darky's going for the linear 3rd base. Behind this, ByuN going for a 3rd CC before factory. Very greedy follow-up. Before the natural's even done, before the factory is on the way, 3rd CC is in production for ByuN. Being hyper greedy here. And we'll see if he can get away with it. Now, the downside is that ByuN is vulnerable to a Bane bust. If Dark makes more lings, if he throws down a Baneling nest, then ByuN could just die. Dark, he's coming in. He does see the 3rd. Uh-oh. Does see the 3rd base. How do we respond? Does Dark try to punish the opener of ByuN? Or do we let it go and just drone? We're droning. Okay. We're just droning up, saturating the natural. Link speed kicks in, and Dark is hunting down those Reapers. Is trying to, at least. But the 3 Reapers do manage to bypass these lings. They're hidden here in the middle of the map. And Dark will not come across them. The Reapers will make it back home. And the game will settle from here. Oh my god, ByuN even going double eBay before factory as well. He's so greedy. Now the factory is finally on the way. Again, very late factory, which means late starport. But even though the push is going to be later from ByuN, it's going to hit harder. It's going to hit harder with 1-1, with faster 1-1 upgrades. Faster 3rd CC, faster economy, larger army as a result. So risky build here by ByuN, but he should be able to pay it off, or he should be able to pay off. Meanwhile, Reapers are getting surrounded. Good grenades. But we do lose one of those Reapers. And we should lose the others. Dark does catch them. Behind this, Dark did go into double Evo chambers before Lair. So a greedy follow-up from Dark as well. I do like this. So Dark, upon confirming the build, is going for those faster upgrades. Going for faster upgrades. Likewise, we do see ByuN behind this, getting into his finally starport, into the rest of his Raxes, into eventually medevac drop play. There's Yaddle and Swap. We should be seeing the starport on the reactor, and medevacs will be on the horizon. ByuN will soon be aggressive with his Marines. Meanwhile, Dark is preparing for the aggression. He's droning, getting up to 4 bases, taking his own gases. And this could just be pure Lingbane into Hive again, or it could be Lingbane Hydra. I'm curious, just because ByuN is known for his drop play, it may be wise to go into Hydras. The downside of going Lingbane into Hive into Ultras is your lack of anti-air. And specifically against ByuN, it may be too risky to go for that playstyle. May just be too risky. Yeah, there it is. Hydras are on the way. So Lingbane Hydra out of Dark. Double jump towards the north. Dark getting in position. Going for a 5th base. We'll see if ByuN can pull apart his opponent. Cheeky waddle by there by Dark. Isn't going to get away with it. Banlings are forced back. Dark even getting supply blocks. We'll lose an Overlord. We'll lose a Queen. Good pick off there by ByuN. Picks up a Queen, gets the hell out of there. Losing really only 1 Marine in the process. Meanwhile, Dark, he's been able to drone up to 4 base saturation. Decent worker count here at 77. 5th base on the way. Dark's creep is looking decent. Not ideal here at these fringe base locations, which means ByuN could try to pull them apart. Speaking of, we do have a split push. We have a double drop towards the north. We have our main army here towards the south. Can Dark keep up? As ByuN is pushing forward, we do have a 4th CC behind this, so it's not a 3-base all in. ByuN thinking further ahead. Mine Show going to be going off, getting a bit of friendly fire. ByuN is threatening a push. But I will say, unlike the previous game, Dark is in a much better position here. His economy hasn't been stifled as much as it was in the previous game, in game number 3. Likewise, he has a solid army. He's ready for this split push. He has Lingbane, Hydra, both towards the north and the south. Dark should be fine. Ooh, and we're even getting into Lurker tech. Okay. Lurkers on the way. On the horizon. As ByuN is finally going to be working on his push. While he takes his 4th base, he's going to be moving through the center, clearing up a lot of this creep. Still has that double jump on the right. Set by a mine army. Again, Dark is in position. As long as he's able to keep up with respreading that creep, he should be okay. Does force ByuN back, dropping into the main. Likewise, ByuN pushing here through the center. Dark is in position. He gets us around. Ooh, collapses on the Marines. A big overextension here by ByuN. Loses a massive chunk of his army. Again, ByuN just pushing far too much, far too deep onto creep there. was punished for it. Drop into the main. Barely does survive. But there it is. The Lunkers, they're on the way, papi. They're on the way. 9 Lunkers in production. Dark, he's almost there. Nidus into the main base. ByuN does spot it, though. Boys are being pulled. Only 2 Marines, though. Uh-oh. It's going to be close, but it looks like the Nidus will not finish. Yeah, turret's on the way. Nidus swarm towards the south instead. And what is in those that Nidus swarm? The Lurkers. The Lurkers are all in that Nidus, ready to try to punish this southern base. The mines are being shut down. The Lurkers should soon be on the way. As ByuN is gaining ground. Again, he still hasn't been able to threaten these bases. Dark going for a counterattack. Lings, they get into the mineral line. Where SCVs are going to be going down. ByuN racing back home. The Lurkers, they get in. They do get on top of that planetary in this base. It's going to go down. ByuN, he has to reciprocate. He will kill a hatchery, but he loses 35 SCVs already. And Dark, he's escaping with what he can. That's a kill on the planetary. And Dark, he will make it back home. Bailins, they're not done. He wants more. He's coming back in. Nidus into the main. Shouldn't finish. But Dark, he doesn't manage to bust into the natural base. That's really good damage though. 43 SCVs went down. ByuN knocked down to 3 bases, and Dark, he's in control. He's remaxing with Morling Bane. Not the best fight here from Dark. Ooh, a brutal trade. Does run into a wall of Terran. Well, you have Lurkers from the south. Decent snipes, but there's just too many Lurkers, too much momentum, and ByuN is in so much trouble. Oh, the Bailey connections. We collapse on the Marines. Nidus run behind the army as well. Working against Dark a little bit. We contaminate the CC. We take down the 3rd, and ByuN is down to 2 bases left here. Again, Dark, he was able to stabilize. He was able to have a solid mid game. Didn't lose any of his economy. GG gets called. ByuN has nothing left, and Dark will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Dark for taking the series, for taking down ByuN. Again, he had a very stable early to mid game. If you remember, Dark was able to get into his 3rd, into his 4th, into his 5th. We saw that ByuN was trying to go for some split drops, some drop play, but he was never able to kill any workers, never really stifled the economy of Dark. Dark able to just comfortably get into his 5 base setup, max out on Lingbane, Lurker, and pull ByuN apart. ByuN, unfortunately, at the time, as Dark was counterattacking with Lurkers, ByuN was out of the map. He was out of the map with both of his armies. He had very little at home to defend, and Dark snowballed out of control. The Ghost came out, but again, a little bit too little too late there. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Dark. A strong series. He almost 3-0'd, but again, ByuN, he had a fancy game 3 on Alcyone. 3x Reaper, Mass Reaper, never fails. Something that ByuN can always rely on, especially when Dark is being too greedy. Again, Dark was 100% core with his pants down in game 3, but able to tighten things up in game number 4. Like a solid game from Dark. GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations to Dark. And with that, we have this week's Asia champion, but we still have the Americas and Europe up ahead of us. We still have plenty more to come. And check it out. It's going to be, I believe, in 4.5 hours. So we have a couple of hours of break here in between tournaments. But in 4.5 hours, we're going to be back. We're going to be live with ESL Open Cup Europe. Europa is going to be here. And yeah, we're going to be live here on the channel with it. So until then, enjoy some other streams. Enjoy the break. We're gonna be giving another streamer a raid. Eba is live, so we'll raid Eba, papi. We'll raid Eba. Give him some love. Give him some support. This Eba has been laddering. But yeah, until then, we're gonna be heading off for the night. Tomorrow, we're gonna be most likely going over the GSL qualifiers. The day after, we're going to be going over ESL Open Cup Americas. It does depend on when the replays are available, so we'll see when we can cast some Americas. Likewise, IM Katowice qualifiers are going to be, qualifiers? IM Katowice group stage is going to be live on this channel this week as well. And what else do we have going on? We have the Logic Games on Saturday. We have the return of Sparkling Tuna Cup. Our tournaments, they come back on the 25th at the end of February. So keep an eye out for that for the Tuna Cup. We have the Platinum Hyper Cup as well, also on Saturday. We have the ESL Open Cups, and the Duckling Showdown is not this week. We're taking a break from the Club NV Duckling Showdown this week. Next week, we're coming back with some more beautiful show matches. So keep an eye out on social media for the announced show matches for what is coming up next on the channel. Keep an eye out. Otherwise, thank you for watching. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We are also live and co-streaming on YouTube, so you can check us out on YouTube as well. And you can also follow us on Discord, where we do post whenever we go live every single day. Every day, buddy, every day. Hold on, I'm just responding to a comment. But with that, thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys in a couple of hours for ESL Open Cup Europe. Until then, hasta luego. Hasta luego, papi. Hasta luego. Take care, everyone. Take care. Make sure to hydrate hydras, stretch roaches, massage your marines, and drain your disruptors. We'll be back with some more StarCraft later on tonight. Hasta luego. Ciao.